All right, the all-new redesigned 2023 Kia Sportage. Let's talk about it. So I've already done a review on the 2021 Kia Sportage, the previous generation, and I really enjoyed driving that vehicle. So I'll give you some context with that vehicle first before we get into the new one. The previous generation Sportage, it drove really well and it was refined, smooth, like in typical Kia fashion. You know, most of their vehicles do resemble these exact same characteristics, but the Sportage really stood out to me because I've always liked the design of it. It kind of reminds me of a Porsche Macan, the 2021 that I drove. So I thought that was a pretty cool design language going on. The interior was pretty solid, and somehow the way they tuned the drivetrain on it, the engine, the transmission, when you hit the gas pedal, there was some serious punch to it. That was something that really stood out to me, especially for city driving. Now, of course, when you get out on the highway, that's when you notice the deficiencies of a lower horsepower vehicle, like the non-turbocharged models. But it always felt safe. You always had enough, more than enough power to merge onto either the highways or to make left-hand turns, right-hand turns. You know what I'm saying? The power was always put down to the ground properly. And it was just a good, affordable SUV in its class. It was really something to put on your short list. The Mazda products are great, but the problem with a lot of the Mazda products is their petite size, right? A lot of people in this segment, they want a larger vehicle, and I think Kia has really addressed that here for this new 2023. So let's talk about it. It's all new, and the trim levels that are available to you are the LX, EX, SX, the SX Prestige, and the new X line trims, okay? X Pro Prestige, etc. Okay, these are your more off-road capable models. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but the design is what's most striking here. Okay, that's the first thing that you notice, and it's a pretty sharp looking machine. Kia's design language is far superior than Hyundai's in my opinion. This looks like a vehicle that hits above its weight class. It doesn't look like a mere economy car or a commuter car or anything like that. It's certainly got its own little swagger and persona going on there, and I really respect that. But you let me know your thoughts in the comment section on the exterior looks. I personally think it's a sharp looking ride. It's going to be assembled in the United States alongside the Telluride Sorento and the K5 in West Point, Georgia. And in the future, for this generation of the Sportage, we will see some electrification, right? Hybrid models, perhaps even plug-in hybrids as well. So that's something to look forward to as well. And I'm very excited for Kia and Hyundai to start building some electric vehicles because I think they will be the first to create actual affordable electric cars for the masses. But the gasoline models are going to be going on sale in the United States in the first quarter of 2022. But okay, the overall length of the Sportage has increased by 7.1 inches. The wheelbase has grown by 3.4 inches. It's now slightly taller, it's wider, and it's going to be having a class-leading rear legroom of 41.3 inches, and apparently the best rear cargo capacity as well with 39.6 cubic feet of space. If space is what you're looking for at a relatively affordable price, then this is going to be really something you want to consider either financing, leasing, or even paying cash for. It's going to be built on the same N3 platform as the Sorento, which I have also driven the 2021 Sorento, and these new platform vehicles, like the N3 platform machines like the Sorento, and I've also driven the K5 as well, I've noticed that these new Kia products are extremely quiet and comfortable. So this is not just some PR nonsense. When they say that they've reduced the road noise, the wind noise, the engine noise with more sound absorbing materials and insulation, they're not joking about that. That's really true, and it does make a difference out on the road. But even the current 2021 Sportages that I've driven, they're also relatively quiet, but I will say the new Sorrentos and the K5s, they do take it to another level, and this Sportage should follow suit. We're going to be having some better driving dynamics, as you would expect. The engine that they're going to be using is a 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder, and they're expecting about 187 horsepower. It will be mated to a new 8-speed automatic, which the 8 speeds that Kia uses are almost always excellent. And of course, it will be available in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive models will gain 1.5 inches of ground clearance. And the new X lines and the X Pro models, okay, it might seem like gimmicks, but if you live up north, perhaps, and you see a lot of inclement weather, then perhaps going for one of those X line trims might be to your benefit. But if you live closer down south and you don't see crazy weather, then you might want to save your money because these aren't like true off-roaders like a Jeep Wrangler, obviously, but I'm sure you will gain some form of capability, and if you happen to get a good deal on it up north, then sure, why not? Go for it. with those X-Line trims, you will be getting a new unique front and rear bumpers with some satin chrome finishes, raised roof racks, and exclusive 19-inch wheels. Now that is for the X line, so that is going to be kind of the more sporty and rugged choice. Really, the X Pro is the more off-road focused Sportage, but again, it's all relative, right? I mean, it is just a Sportage at the end of the day. It's not a Wrangler. But that X Pro will be getting BF Goodrich all-terrain tires, 17-inch matte black off-road wheels. So it's going to have that look going for it. So it's going to be a little bit more extreme than that X line, but that's going to be up to you if those changes are going to be worth it. But anyway, back to the drivetrain. But as I mentioned, it's going to be initially coming out with that 2.5 liter inline 4, and the fuel economy should be expected to improve about 8%, despite the vehicle being larger than the outgoing Sportage. And I think some of that has to do with that 8-speed automatic, because the previous generations did use a 6-speed automatic. Now let's talk about the interior, because there's been a lot of changes made to the interior of the new Sportage. They've taken design cues from high-end outdoor products and furniture and modern architecture, right? So really what they're trying to do is they're trying to go after the adventurous, outdoorsy types of people. But the interior does look good. We're going to be having an optional dual 12.3-inch digital display, right, for the infotainment. Is going to be connected to the 12.3-inch gauge cluster as well. It's going to be a curved screen. And we've seen this before in other Hyundai Kia products. And it's smooth. It works well. It's easy to use for sure. But you now have a lot more storage space, like I've seen in some of the B-roll footage. Like they're putting like an iPad or a tablet in the center console. So there's a lot of space to work with here. The solidity is pretty decent with these Hyundai Kia products. Maybe the Toyota products are slightly superior in that aspect. However, the Hyundai Kia stuff isn't bad. I do like their design language a lot more than what Honda and Toyota typically does. Put in there. The higher the trim that you go, you get a little bit more padded materials and nicer speaker grills and things like that. And you will be getting, obviously, the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay as standard. And we also have this new touchpad here, which is going to be interesting. So they do have some physical controls, but it's also going to be used in conjunction with this new touchpad. So we're going to have to see how ergonomic that's going to be. You will have things like the available 360 surround view cameras, which some luxury cars don't even offer that. And the fancy speaker grills are typically going to be available with that Harman Kardon audio sound system, which is also going to be an option. And even the base LX trim levels, they will be coming with 8 safety assistance features, like drive attention warning, LED headlights with high beam assist, lane following assist, lane keeping assist, forward collision avoidance, rear occupant alert, rear view monitor, and reverse parking distance warning. And some of the optional driver assistance features will be blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, forward collision avoidance, forward parking distance warnings, highway driving assist, and a bunch more. So all in all, Kia is continuing to offer a pretty well-equipped vehicle for a reasonable amount of money. Now, the official pricing for the new 2023 Sportage has not been released, but we can assume that it'll be class competitive. Let's just say that they typically try to undercut the market by a little bit. But the features seem good. I like the exterior design. The interior seems to be a little bit more spacious, not just in the physical space for the people to sit in, but also the cargo capacity, the little cubby spaces, etc. So they just made it a little bit more pragmatic. Again, they're trying to focus on the adventurous types, and the adventurous types will typically, they're assuming, going to have larger water bottles and other extracurricular things, right, that they need to bring with them. So plenty of space. I think that alone is going to convince a lot of people to maybe purchase one. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on the new Kia Sportage. Is this something that you're going to be interested in? Or are you planning on purchasing one? Let us know your thoughts. And thanks again for watching. Take care and goodbye.